Everybody, clap your hands.
Wow. How's it going, everybody? It's Carlos, one of your hosts of the Bring On The Blitz podcast. I'm here joined with Rios. How's it going, Rios?
Well, as the man said, everyone clap your hands.
Yeah, that was odd. I have no idea what that came about. But Papi's in the house. How's it going, Papi? It's been a minute since we've seen you, brother.
Hey, man, just the intrusive thoughts, just.
Everybody, clap your hands. That's a odd way to start the show today.
Hey, I mean, we got to be positive. That's all we can do right now, man.
All right. So, with that being said, today's show is going to be talking about the Patriots, Texans, AFC Divisional game, where the Texans lost to the New England Patriots again in the Divisional Round. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the defense, the offense, and of course, the disaster in Foxborough that involves C.J. Stroud. More on that, and then of course a little bit of Fernando Mendoza's showing against Miami last night for the national and college football national championship. All this and more when we return from our intro. Hit it.
Tell them bring on the blitz, tuning in my dogs on miss. Fourth down and flick of the wrist, and we go for the wrist. Jumping and racing and fist. With Carlos and Papi and Rios, they bring on the blitz. Tuning in my dogs on miss. Fourth down and flick of the wrist, and we go for the wrist. Jumping and racing and fist. With Carlos and Papi and Rios, they bring on the blitz.
All right, I love that intro. It always gets us going. Yeah. A song with your name on it. Nice. All right, man. So, where are you drinking Mexican Coke?
He went full Mexican Coke on us, man.
Coke. There you go.
I don't drink a lot of soda, but
when being professional.
I choose Mexican Coke.
All right, man. So, as we talked, as we mentioned, yes, we're going to be talking about the Texans versus New England game. The Texans had a shot at making history, franchise history. They're still the only team right now that has not passed through the divisional round in the NFL. Every other team has done it, and Texans are the only one. And they had a clear shot. They really did. Before, obviously, we get into the main details, just to set up the stage, I mean, the Texans had that opportunity. They had the opportunity, and they're still 0-7 in the AFC Divisional Round. 0-7, what a record in the Divisional Round. And they lost again in Foxborough against the New England Patriots. I don't think we've seen that. I don't think anybody's seen that since 2012. Is that correct? When the Texans faced off against the New England Patriots again, and it was still a show.
It was 2016 with Brock Osweiler.
It's 2016. Okay, yeah, it's 2016. My apologies, but yeah, it's been a while. It's close to 10 years now, right? If anything, but it's been a while. But they just can't seem to get past the AFC Divisional Round. One thing I do want to talk about is Rios, the offensive line is something that I felt like at the very beginning of the season, I don't think the Texans really invested or were too aggressive on the offensive line. Throughout the season, there was definitely some flaws, the shifting of the line, which they had been doing. Honestly, they've been doing that for the last few seasons, shifting the line around. It's almost, borderline confusing. Like, okay, who's starting where? But they're kind of used to it in a sense. But you did see a lot of issues go through. And I'll say this, against the New England Patriots, there was a lot of issues with the interior part of the line. Like that interior line was just, they were getting completely manhandled against the New England's front.
They were in the backfield. As soon as the ball snapped, they're already in the backfield in front of the running back. They had no room to run whatsoever. Against the Steelers, all 19 carries, all positive yards. Against the Patriots, they were all negative yards. He averaged less than 1.5 yards per carry, which is you can't do in a playoff game.
Papi, what did you think of the offensive line coming into Foxborough?
I mean, it wasn't their best showing, but definitely we've seen, what this O-line is, right? We know what it is. We know what it isn't. And for the past 2 years, it's been exactly this, right? Going into the Steelers game, I didn't think they were going to have that big of a showing, and they actually held their own for a little bit at times. Obviously, the defense carried this whole franchise is being carried by the defense at the moment. But the during the playoffs, the Steelers game was won on the defensive side of the ball, and the offensive line didn't have to, like, because we didn't lose, you didn't really like hone into how much of a mixed bag they were. Against New England, you could see what we've been seeing all year, which is that especially the interior of that offensive line is basically non-existent.
Yeah. I will say the biggest improvement, though. I mean, I will say, as much as we've talked about the offensive line, it is a much improvement from last season.
And
that's
I'll tell
something
you,
to
and I'll
show.
tell you this though, and I'll tell you this: the offensive line isn't the reason why we lost this game.
Right.
No.
Right.
Not even-
Exactly.
not even
Oh,
close,
I
like,
think we
'cause
all agree with that one.
Even
Yeah.
even as bad as they, even as not great as they were,
They weren't the main issue. I think
They weren't.
the main problem is throwing the ball 47 times in the snow. Like,
Yeah.
clearly, I understand that the running game wasn't working, but you gotta have a bit more of balance. Nick Chubb was able to, produce positive yardage, and he is
Okay.
used to playing those type of conditions.
yeah.
Maybe when he works, not so much because he played at USC. He's not used to that kind of weather. But Nick Chubb played in that weather his entire career.
Yeah, with Cleveland. Also, like back to the interior, like Jake Andrews, they struggled to create movement and pick up backers, like Rios said. Patriots defense, allowing the Patriots defense to read and react without fear of the run. I mean, they stuffed Woody Marks 8 times.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
I mean, they were clearly not helping out. And sorry, 8 times in the red zone. Sorry, that was he could go anywhere.
and the one time that they did get some momentum and had a touchdown, came off the board because the offensive line miscues. Like, you can't have these communication issues in the divisional round of the playoffs. Like, this stuff should have been cleaned up beginning of the season, even middle of the season.
Right. But again, positive looking forward on that one is I think this offseason the Texans really, really need to be aggressive as far as the free agency goes. I don't know if the Texans should get another draft pick and use it on an offensive line. I don't know about that. I think for sure they need to be aggressive in the free agency. What are your thoughts, Rios?
Yeah, they definitely need to get a veteran center. I think
Yeah.
we've heard a lot of talk of getting the center from the Ravens, which
Mm.
would be a
Would be a great idea.
major upgrade at that position because one, he's a veteran, and it shouldn't be too hard for him to pick up the new scheme versus a
Mhm.
rookie that's it's a little bit of a learning curve.
Right.
Shoring that position up and also figuring out where you're going to play Titus Howard because you can't keep rotating in between right tackle and left guard or right guard. Like, you need to put him in one spot and leave him there. And
Right.
his best position is at right tackle. He's done a solid job, filling in the guard positions, but that's not his natural position. It's not what you're paying him to do.
Right. Papi, what do you think they need to do in the offseason as far as the offensive line is concerned? Do you think they need to use a pick for that, or do you think they go aggressively in the free agency market?
No, I think the draft capital should be used to secure some skill positions.
Mm.
We need wide receiver depth. We need tight end. Another running back wouldn't hurt because as far as I know, Nick Chubb isn't cut out to be our number one guy. Woody Marks, he's very promising, but I would love a second option there. And with Joe Mixon, being in the upside down, I don't see how this running game can kickstart without maybe picking somebody up in the draft. I feel like you hit the nail right on the head. I feel like the offensive line is something that can be taken care of in the offseason through free agency. I don't think the Texans are making any trades or anything of that nature. But as far as the draft picks goes, it needs to be more of the skill positions.
Okay, I agree. Okay, let's see. As far as so there are going to be a lot of free agents. One guy I do want to mention, Ariante Arcery. I know that it felt like he was thrown into a wolves, but that's what needs to happen at times. I'm not too worried about him. I think his second season is going to be, it's definitely a learning curve. I think he, for the most part, as far as I know, statistically it might not align, but I think he held his own in the left tackle position. Yes, you had some false starts, nowhere near where Larry Tunsil was. but every once in a while, like, oh, is Laramie Tunsil still around? Like that's
The
that's one
spirit
of those
lives
things.
on.
Yeah, the spirit lives on.
You killed the man, but not the idea.
Kill the man, but not the idea. And so it's but I think he held his own for his rookie season. I think he held his own. Honestly, I see an upside from him next season.
Yeah, he can only get better. He can only
Yeah.
get better.
Yeah. All right.
That's the idea. We've seen from a certain player that it can be the opposite.
We have, but let's not.
We'll touch that.
Yeah,
in a little
yeah.
bit.
Trent Brown was another great addition for the Texans this season, and he's going to be a free agent this season. I'm hoping that they bring him back. He was definitely missed during the game against the Patriots.
Yeah.
He provides a lot of great running room as well, blocks as well. So definitely they missed his presence for sure. And of course, Ed Ingram has been stout for the Texans as well. Those were great. And what I think they were referred to as like garbage bin guys, right? Guys that you just kind of pick up, but in the end, they ended up working out pretty decently for the Texans for what it was. Now, imagine if they actually go out and be aggressive and get somebody that's like you said, Rios, like a veteran presence for like the Ravens. So like that would solidify.
Yeah, the thing is that the O-line was already a problem. So anybody who could come in and even move the needle a little bit was something that we would welcome with open arms, right?
Right.
So if they can really hone into this issue and like really try to take care of that, and we'll get to it in a little bit because we're all dying to talk about it. But you fix this O-line, if you fix it, then maybe CJ doesn't have as bad of a game as he did.
Okay.
Maybe not necessarily fix it. I think it according to all the advanced statistics, they were, a pretty solid group. They were top 15 for sure. Probably a little bit better than that in some areas. Definitely need to improve the interior pass rush because they don't even need exotic stunts to get past them sometimes, which is a little concerning. And we saw how many plays they blew up because it just was no resistance whatsoever up the middle. I think if you shore that up and just clean up some of the pre-snap penalties, easily top 10 unit as far as pass blocking goes.
Yeah, some discipline. To be fair, one of the costly touchdown that was that because of the lack of discipline was Dalton Schultz in that illegal shift.
Yeah.
Cost the Texans a touchdown. They had to settle for a field goal. I believe it. If I'm not mistaken, it might have been the opening drive.
It was the opening drive. It was a promising drive, and then they stalled.
Because he got injured literally right after that, right?
After
that, I think it was on the second drive, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I mean, that and the Woody Marks fumble in the red zone, that's a 14-point swing.
Yeah, exactly.
And the game that they lose by 12, I mean, those two,
they're costly.
Those two costly errors just ultimately doomed them. In a game where points are at a premium, you can't have those kind of mistakes.
100%. All right. Next up is so far as what?
It's just funny how we're talking about the fumble and everything. And it's the fumble, it was definitely a difference maker. Also the 5 turnovers. Yeah. The 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
The 4 interceptions.
We're simmering.
4 interceptions were
let the steak marinate. Yeah. All right. Next up, the next thing I want to talk about is wide receivers. Promising Tank Dell might be coming back next season. Do you guys see Christian Kirk back next season?
Unfortunately, no, just because of the price tag.
What was that price tag looking like?
Probably more than they're willing to spend it because they have Tank Dell coming back. Jaden Higgins looks like he's going to be a solid, pairing next to Nico. And you still got Jalen Noel, who's on a rookie deal, younger, less injury concerns. I don't see them spending extra money, more money than he'll probably demand on the free agent market because there's a market for him, especially in today's passing league. Like if you're a solid slot guy, you're going to have a role on the team.
Right.
I like Kirk. I liked him a lot, and I hope we can bring him back because if it's something that we saw when Nico went down, we really miss Nico. As much as we lost these games for a million other reasons, we really miss the way Nico can create separation. Because in a lot of those contested throws, there weren't a lot of separation. There just wasn't, and the CJ had to throw the ball almost behind the players at times to try to catch them, like separated from the cornerbacks and whatnot. So I feel like somebody a little bit more of a more established presence like Kirk is something that I would like to see be brought back. Tank Dell, obviously, we're excited that he's coming back. We have no idea what he's gonna look like coming back from
that too.
Well, from
all
what
of
I've been reading, he was trying to make a push to come back at the end of the season. They decided to, not rush it and just let him wait out the entire season. But considering how the injury that he had and the fact that he was pretty close to coming back at the end of the season, I mean, he should be good to go for training camp.
I mean, good to go to come back, sure, but as good as he was, as skilled as he was, as confident as he was, that's something that's yet to be seen, right? I don't want to just put all my eggs in that basket.
As someone who saw him in college, like he was always the smallest guy on the field in college and in the pros, and you never play scared. Like it's the opposite of a certain player on the Texans that looks terrified when he's out there. This guy is fearless, and he's the smallest guy on the field by far. I think the referees are bigger than him, but doesn't play scared. He gives it 110% each time he goes out there. I'm not too worried about him.
So, to Papi's point, when you talked about the New England corners, I do want to highlight Christian Gonzalez was all over the field. 9 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 1 pass deflection. Like Christian Gonzalez is,
he's a stud, man. He's a stud. Real deal. Yeah,
he's a stud. And so that not having Nico out there, to your point, Papi, was hurtful, was detrimental because not only did the Texans did lose Dalton Schultz very early on in the game. That takes another option. Now you're settling for obviously Hutchinson. You're settling for Higgins, which is fine, but you got to still understand that he's still a rookie, and you're pairing him up against Christian Gonzalez, Davis. You're pairing him up against that duo, which is pretty decent corner. So. It felt like it was a lot to ask in some aspects. So I do understand why separation could have been an issue. And of course, again, like I said, not having Dalton Schultz. But at that point, what do you do? I think there's other things you could have done, but I think they're not having Nico, where basically your main focus on the back end is Nico, and you can have these lanes open with these other receivers that could have possibly created some separation. Definitely. So I do think Nico Collins' absence was definitely warranted as well.
I feel like Kirk was very, very, very clutch at times. So I really hope like it's something like the same with like Stephon Diggs, right? Like we miss him, and then he goes and scores a touchdown on the other side, right? So it's something like I hope, because the price tag won't be as high, I hope that somehow we can bring him back.
He was efficient.
He was very efficient.
Very efficient.
Okay,
so we talked about that. Last thing before we go into the quarterback position, the defense. As far as that, so obviously we can sit in here and talk all day about how great the defense was. Put the Texans in great position to score. They had 5 sacks. They had forced fumbles. They put them right where they should have, and the Texans offense just could not capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Will Anderson, I think during the offseason, give the man the bat.
Give him the money, all of the money.
Like here's a blank check. Write the number in yourself.
Name it. Yeah.
Does he become the highest paid edge rusher? Because what's Myles Garrett at? Like 40 mil?
I don't think he becomes the highest paid. He definitely gets the bag. I think he'll probably be top 5 paid.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking? Like 35? 30 to 35 mil a year?
I think it's kind of hard to give him Myles Garrett money because Myles Garrett is, one of one.
Correct.
Right. But it's
Will Anderson looks like he's gonna be one of them guys.
Yeah, I think definitely, he should be in the top 5 as far as highest paid edge rushers for sure. Yeah. Especially because they're not.
He deserves it.
Yeah, he deserves it.
The front four of that defense have been like amazing, elite.
Right.
And Will Anderson is like the spearhead of that defense, and I love it.
Absolutely. Game record. To put in perspective how dominant the defense was this past 2 playoff games, They held opponents to 13.5 points per game, 211 yards per game, 3.5 yards per play, and held teams to 5 of 28 on third down conversions. They had 9 sacks, 5 forced turnovers, and they scored 2 touchdowns. Just elite in every sense of the word. And
This is the kind of defense that wins you championships.
Yes.
with bad quarterback play, they win that game. With average quarterback play, they probably blow them out.
With Davis Mills.
But we'll get into that in a second because I have plenty to say.
And then so at this point now you have I think so the good thing is, it's a very young defense. You got the secondary is all locked in. They're young, they're still on contracts.
Stingley did get beat. There was one play where Stingley did get beat.
By Booty.
I mean,
Booty,
it was a play. And that's the second
it
time
was a
that
catch
Booty
and a
does
half.
beat.
Yeah.
By the way, that is the second time that Booty does beat Stingley. The first time he did it was last season. Stop. The first time he did it was against Stingley last season when the Patriots went against the Texans. Did beat the Patriots during the regular season, but it was the exact same play. Drake May threw it up, and Booty ended up just getting the better end of no pun intended, of Derek Stingley. True.
We're never gonna grow up.
Yeah,
we never will. We never will.
So it's happened twice. So it's happened twice. So Derek Stingley is 2-0 against Booty. So there's that. Check that. The next thing, so you got a young secondary. Christian Harris is another guy that's probably not going to be back with the Texans. I haven't seen him in a while. Anybody seen him?
Probably with Joe Mixon.
Has to be studied. He looked like a guy that was going to be, one of the anchors for this defensive group, and just fell off the face of the earth.
Kind of just fizzled out.
Yeah, like the last highlight that that I remember seeing from him was against Joe Flacco. That interception that he got against Joe Flacco in the playoffs 2 seasons ago.
Last year he was in the upside down. This year I don't know where he was.
And no injuries, right? I don't think there was an injury report this season on him, was it?
Last year was injuries.
Last year there was injuries, but I couldn't even tell you about this year.
Yeah. So I don't expect him to be back this season, to be fair. A lot of the few guys of the offense on the defensive line that are that I feel like are important are going to be free agents. So that's something that Texans need to look out for, see who they're going to bring back. Danico Autry, Tim Settle, guys like that are in the front. Fatukasi is another guy. Like those guys that you hear, that
I'm bringing everybody back on that front four. I'm bringing everybody back, and I'm using the draft to get maybe another linebacker, maybe a running back, safety, But that front four, like everybody who played a part in that front four swarm needs to come back.
Yeah, they were relentless.
Yeah. I think, like we mentioned previously, I think a lot of them are free agents, but they bring back, I want to say, at least 75% of them.
That's If you want to replicate somewhat near what you had this season, every piece. I think when Rios and I analyzed, every piece was important.
Yeah, I mean, because you look at the flaws of this team, you understand that they are not it. So keep those guys in.
Right. Sorry, my dogs.
Yeah, they got to, keep the continuity in the trenches.
Correct.
And on the offensive side of the ball, major upgrades at key positions.
Major shakeups.
Yeah.
And, all right. And decisions need to be made.
So here's the part where I'm pretty sure everybody's dying to talk about. So obviously we left the best for last. I want to read you a quote. Okay. We all know CJ had not a bad performance, not a terrible performance, more like an abysmal performance.
I was about to say probably the worst of his career.
I statistically no, but yes, I would say the performance was probably the worst one of his career, in my opinion. If there's another one, let me know, because I can't think of one.
Not just his. The second worst was last week when we played the Steelers. That was the second worst.
Okay. When it mattered most, I think, in the
Yeah.
playoffs. So I want to read you a quote that D'Amico Ryan said. This was a quote from Monday's presser the day after the game, where they've had about 24 hours to think about, and reflect. So this is what D'Amico said. This was on his assessment of C.J. Stroud's play this season. It says the quarterback position is going to get the most eyes, the most attention. We understand that. In this league, that's what it is. CJ understands that as well. Throughout the season, I thought he did a really nice job coming in and learning a new offense, a new scheme. I thought he picked it up really well. We got better as the season went along, and he made some plays to allow us to win a lot of football games as well. I'm not gonna let the bad plays there in the game against New England dictate to me who CJ is. I know who CJ is. I know that what he's capable of doing. We just got to keep looking to get better. No one feels worse about the situation than CJ. He feels bad for the team. He feels like he let the team down. And I just told him, keep your head up and you keep moving forward. We all wanted better. We can't go back to the game right now and run it back and play it again. We just learn from it. What do you learn from it? That's my main message to him is, what do you learn from that? And how do you make that a priority and getting it fixed and improving and getting better? All right. What are your thoughts on that one?
If I'm CJ Stroud, I do not get on the internet for the entirety of the offseason because it is brutal right now. And deservedly so. Emmanuel Acho put it best on Sunday. He said a quarterback could go out there, spike the ball every single play, and would still have a higher QB rating than CJ Stroud.
28?
28. The lowest ever recorded in NFL history.
Yep,
Well,
28 even. Not even that decimal. 28 even.
It's just not just the worst performance of his career. I think what we just mentioned, probably one of the worst quarterback performances ever in the playoff game. It was just historically bad.
Mm-hmm.
And the memes online are, I'm not gonna lie, some of them are pretty funny. No, but like
some of them are very sad. Demoralizing.
Yeah. When you become when you replace JJ McCarthy as the for bad quarterback play, that's yeah. You stay off, just go, unplug from all social media, just go somewhere to get your head right, and then get back in the lab. I think how he comes back from this is going to be telling if he is the franchise quarterback, or if they're going to have to basically give him his 5th-year option and look to trade him.
All right. Papi, what do you think?
There's so many things to say. Because if you look at the game, the first half was abysmal. And we knew it was going to be a snow game. We knew it was going to be cold. We knew he struggled against the Steelers in cold weather. Even though he's played in Ohio, he should be somewhat used to that. But it's the playoffs. The lights don't get any brighter than this. You go to Foxborough, a place where the Texans have lost. Again, we're 0-7 in the divisional now. And you know what the flaws of your game are. You've seen it for the last 2 years. I feel like CJ has been trying to replicate or chase that rookie magic that he showed us. And unluckily, it's just not there. And like Rios said, he just needs to get back in the lab and just refine the things that he does right. What he doesn't do right is keep a calm, composed, mind when it's inside of collapsing pocket, right? And it's a lot to ask for. But like Rios also said, if you don't see what you're looking for, if all you see is, the 4 guys blitzing at you, throw the ball on the ground, bro. Throw it to the sidelines. Do not.
Anything.
Do not, brother. Close your eyes and just jack it up. Because you will get intercepted. You will get intercepted. Now, everybody has one stupid interception in them. Everybody does. When you do it a second time in a playoff game, you would think, okay, bro, I got two. I got two. Okay, the defense is keeping us in this game, right? I still have time to turn this around. You know, Woody Marks fumbles. You lose your tight end. Shit's getting worse. Excuse my language. You go into halftime. You have whatever, you know, you look at film, you look at the plays, you come up with a game plan, you come out, and then somehow play even worse. Brother, I don't know what else you can do. What CJ needs to realize now, because the defense kept the Texans relevant all year. Because the way we started the season, the Texans should have never made the playoffs. And you know, they make history because this defense is historic here in Houston. They come in and make a difference, and they drag this team to the playoffs. Because the last time I can confidently say that CJ won us games was that rookie year. That slug out against the Bengals, that game against the Tampa Bay, right? For the last 2 years, it's just been the defense doing what they can to drag this team through the finish line. CJ needs to go into this offseason knowing two things. One, he's not going to get paid. He's not going to get paid. And this next season is going to dictate whether or not he ends up on the Jets. That's just the way it's going to be. Because like Rio said, if he doesn't perform, if he doesn't turn this around next year, we pick up that 5th-year option and then we trade. Because you cannot waste this elite defense on such poor quarterback play. We cannot change the OC again. We cannot change we cannot get another OC through the door.
Right. At this point, I mean, a lot of speculation was about Mike McDaniels, you know, being out and Nick Caley, but Mike McDaniels just joined the Chargers.
Chargers, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
a great fit for him, to be fair.
Right. Out the window as the OC. I honestly think so. Even though if I can go to Nick Caley's, I think Nick Caley's offense. It started off his offensive scheme. It started off rough, and then it felt like the players kind of got used to it. But I felt like the players got used to it after Davis Mills' performance. I felt like there was an I felt like the offensive plan. Like I felt like that plan, that type of offensive scheme, Davis Mills works well on it. Just because. Yeah, I think it fits him better because it's check down friendly, and that's something that you saw a lot of Davis Mills before CJ came in. It's very check down friendly. It's very progression friendly, and then that's something that really sometimes CJ Stroud doesn't do. And when he does, it's like, see why you do this, right? And that's what I think. That's what I would hope that CJ would do more of. But we try to play hero ball. There was times when he had a chance to run it. Rios and I have talked about this. If C.J. Stroud had used his legs more in this game, he was hesitant. He was reluctant to do so. And it's been that way since he got concussed. He's been reluctant to use his legs. What happens when you use your legs? Defenses adjust to your style of play. What happens? Let's say you're out. Let's go back to not having Nico, not having Dalton Schultz. You don't have those weapons. Guess what? Start running. What happens? Lane of possibility, open up. Guess what? Less pressure from the blitz. And now you have a guy coming towards you. Guess what? You have somebody open.
Yeah.
Throw the ball.
Woody Marks is on the sideline, probably open.
That's why you got That's why you got a running back that's able to catch the ball, right? Maybe not Nick Chubb, which we saw throw to Nick Chubb, which surprised me. By the way, an incompletion to Nick Chubb, might I add. But you have Woody Marks who can also catch the ball. That's the whole purpose of this type of offense.
That's coming out of the draft. And like it goes back to the play calling. Like this Erhardt-Perkins system just doesn't work outside of New England.
Right.
Because the Patriots run a very similar offense, but they run a better version of it.
They do.
And I can't remember who said it, but they're like that the Patriots, they were going to shut down the offense because they run a similar scheme, but they run it better. and we saw they had no answers whatsoever on offense.
It's very difficult not to feel for CJ because you can tell that his confidence is an all-time low.
Mhm.
The Steelers game, we came out winners, but it was an ugly win where we went into the fourth quarter with the Steelers only putting up 6 points, right? And what I've been telling everybody all season long is the way we're gonna lose this game, the way we're gonna lose out of the playoffs is we're gonna be on the back foot. We're gonna have to score points, and we just won't be able to.
Mm.
We cannot just go into the fourth quarter hoping that the defense is gonna score 2 touchdowns, especially when you turn the ball over as much as you did. But CJ's confidence now, like I'm telling you, this offseason and the beginning of next year is gonna really show us who CJ is. Because I still think there's a good quarterback there. I still think there's a great quarterback there because we saw it. He just needs to get that confidence back and lose a little bit of the fear. If you fix that O-line a little bit, if you refine the play calling, give the team more continuity offensively, right? Maybe Tank Dell comes back and, that's one of his boys. That's his brother, right?
Mhm.
Maybe, you get a new tight end, another catching tight end. That's another weapon on there.
You might need 2 of them because they still haven't said what the injury to Schultz was. And those
True.
non-contact calf injuries, never good news.
Mhm. And then Kate Stover with that ACL tear, trying to catch an incompletion from,
and that's the thing. Like he was just throwing balls just to throw them.
Yeah,
and all of them were either so far ahead of the player or so far behind where everybody had to like break a hip just to try to catch the ball. The only people who had no problem catching the balls was like the New England secondary. Yeah. And every time he turned the ball over, they would just hone in on CJ, and you could see the frustration. But it's like, brother, get the hell up. Get the hell up. You saw Josh Allen, right, against Bo Nix's Broncos.
Right.
Josh didn't have his best game at all. It was a great game from both sides of the ball, but it was mainly both defenses being pretty good.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen, I guess he has lost so much through the years that he knows, okay, turn the ball over. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go to the sideline. I'm gonna hit my helmet against the bench, but I'm going right back out there and try to do my best. Right, try to put on a performance.
Sitting there
sulking,
body language,
and the defense goes out there and gets you the ball back. The defense gets you the ball back. The ball that you just gave away, they give it to you again. Here you go, man. Try something else. Do something different. What does he do? Panic. Get sacked. Not run. Hesitate. Turn around. Doesn't know what to go. Throw into double coverage. Oh, gets picked up again. And
to be fair, they technically should have intercepted the ball way more than just 4 times.
Yeah. Honestly, and honestly, because I went back and watched the beginning of the game, right? Because I missed pretty much half the game. I went back to watch that first drive. Nobody was catching the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Even I think it was Higgins. One throw where like it literally hit him on the chest.
No, that was a Christian Kirk.
Was it Kirk?
Yeah, okay. It was wide open too.
Nobody.
That was on Kirk though.
Nobody. Yeah, I mean nobody was catching the ball. So I was like, okay, so this first drive wasn't CJ's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else that happened, it was on him. The OC couldn't do anything else. The running backs, the tight ends, the wide receivers couldn't do anything else. They try to contour themselves every play to try to catch the ball. There were times where the offensive line even gave him enough time to make a decision, and he just wouldn't make it. Like you said, there were times where like he had an open pocket to run.
Yeah.
You see Bo Nix using his legs. You see Brock Purdy using his legs. Josh Allen using his legs. Hell, even my boy Mendoza in Indiana, like
she'll talk
running through contact just to get that touchdown, right? But CJ,
I
just
think
something. It's just something that's going on that it's not. He's not.
weird.
Yeah, it's all mental at this point.
Going to a different sport. A couple of years ago, Fernando Valdez saw a sports therapist to get over some of his mental issues, because with him, he's either going to be an ace or he's going to be the worst pitcher in baseball. Like, there was no in between, but he saw a little bit of the better version of Framber after he saw that therapist. I think that might be something CJ should consider.
Did he stop seeing them? Because I
Probably.
think last year I saw the worst of Framber last year.
Yeah, probably stopped seeing it, but when he was seeing that therapist, like, it helped. And I think with CJ, a lot of it's mental. Definitely, he's definitely playing scared. There's two versions of CJ we've seen this season: pre-concussion CJ and then post-concussion CJ. And post-concussion CJ has run the ball 10 times for 11 yards. Like, he will not run unless it's absolutely his only option at that point.
Yeah, but what was pre-concussion CJ's record before that?
He was playing better.
He was playing better.
He was playing better. Just the team was, again, that falls into play calling and just the lack of creativity. It wasn't until, like Carlos had mentioned, it wasn't until Davis Mills played those 3 games where we saw the offense really start to click. You saw it a little bit with CJ before he got hurt against the Broncos, but again, they were playing 2 beat-up teams in the Ravens and 49ers.
The thing that makes this the most disappointing is that we knew going into this game after the Bo Nix news that this was the AFC Championship.
Yeah, the winner of this game is going to the Super Bowl.
The winner of this game was going to go to the Super Bowl because they were going to go against a very good, very elite Broncos defense with a quarterback that hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah.
So you knew that this game meant even more going into it than it would have otherwise, because this was our AFC Championship game.
This is where you jump over that hurdle that you haven't been able to jump as a team. That basically, remember, there was a conversation that us 3 had about the stars aligning, and this was the stars aligning year. You have a stellar defense that really is pushing you through
to the Super Bowl.
Right, that can lead you to a Super Bowl, and I feel like they were on the road to that.
Yeah, you look at 2 years ago when we lost to the Ravens, right? We lost to the better team. You look last year when we lost to the Chiefs. The refs kind of screwed us a little bit, but we made the game pretty close. It was within striking distance. This past weekend, there wasn't the other team that beat us. It wasn't the refs.
It was C.J. Stroud.
It was ourselves. It was CJ. It was the quarterback play. When everybody's calling for Davis Mills to come in at halftime, and I'm not saying that Davis Mills comes in and wins us that game. No, but I don't think he turns the ball over 5 times.
I think the errors stop if you would have had Davis Mills in there.
Yeah, it would have been a boring ass, second half, nothing but checkdowns. But shit, you get points.
One field goal at a time.
One field goal at a time. All right, to close out to close out the part with about the Texans now, just because I have to head over to the Mendoza thing and then we end it. I think it's off season, like both of you guys mentioned. CJ just goes back to the basics, kind of like the Manning brothers did. CJ needs to spend time drilling just fundamentals, footwork, coverage reading from the ground up, basically like a whole refresher.
We said that last year too.
D'Amico Ryans basically mentioned that he needs to stay off his phone, needs to go away. They use the word flush it a lot, like let it go.
They gotta lock him up in the gym, and he doesn't come out till
the Aaron Rodgers treatment.
November.
The Aaron Rodgers treatment. He needs to step up. I think he does need to step away for a while and mentally get through it, like get away from it, and then just because honestly, like Rios mentioned earlier, the way C.J. Stroud comes back is going to determine whether he is the future of the Houston Texans moving forward or not. And so that's yet to be seen. So a silver lining that I have on this, I want to see how he's able to revitalize himself. We've seen him revitalize himself before when he was told he couldn't do it against the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs his rookie season. He went off. We've seen him do it. Papi, you mentioned earlier you've seen some good in CJ. You've seen it. We've all seen it. Can he go back to at least somewhat replicate what he had during his rookie season? There's tape on him. I mean, to be fair, when everybody said there's tape on CJ, they were right.
Yeah.
He regressed. It's proven. So how does he get back from it? You go back to the basics, flush it down, as D'Amico said, and you will see how much he improves this season. And if he doesn't, then there you go. There's your answer. He will not be the guy.
I have an idea. If he doesn't, I have an idea.
What?
CJ and the next 3 first-round picks for Josh Allen. Who says no?
I think you have a better chance of getting Joe Burrow than Josh Allen.
Yeah, but I want a quarterback that's actually going to play.
Well, don't get me wrong. That sounds, Joe Burrow on the Texans. But that's all speculation. That's the thing. Yeah. All right. Lastly, I do want to give a big the Indiana versus Miami game.
That was a game.
Defense, and then towards the end, he didn't have that. Mendoza didn't have that, and that's the story. Fernando Mendoza, really. Mendoza didn't have that flashy stat line that he saw, during his Heisman run as he did during this season. But I felt like he proved why he's one of the toughest quarterbacks in the country. Papi, you mentioned it earlier. Miami's defense was just straight on him, sacking him. There was a point where he got hit. A late hit right to the face, to the helmet. Guess what? Got up like nothing, didn't bother him. And coincidentally, it's happened before when he was in Cal against Miami with that same player. Except the first time he really did get knocked out pretty bad. But it's happened before. But guess what? This time he got up like nothing, bloody lip and all, but he still got up and did it. It's that Cuban in him, son. It's that Cubano in him. At one point, he got hit so hard that it was basically a callback to that 2024 battle. 16 out of 27 completions, 186 yards, he rushed for 6 carries, 1 touchdown. Obviously, the one that everybody saw, and it resulted in Indiana beating Miami 27-21. I think he deserves a lot of praise. I mean, you could see why he's a Heisman Trophy winner.
He's an easy guy to root for. Like, I don't have any investment in Indiana, but he's an easy guy to root for.
I just feel bad that he's going to go to the Raiders.
Possibly. There's a big chance. Yes, there is a huge chance because they're in need of a quarterback. It's true. Yeah. And they have the first draft pick. So yeah, common sense would say definitely the Raiders are the team that most likely are going to pick them. I don't, and to your point, Papi, I don't see another team unless they want to be very aggressive and then trade like eight picks. I'm over exaggerating, just to get Mendoza. Does that make sense? Aside from that, I don't see any other team doing it. Besides the Raiders. Stop. I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Or hear me out.
All right, CJ, 3 first rounders for Gino and the number 1 pick.
Hey, or Kaimi, you got to give up that jersey one more time. That 15 jersey now. You gave up the 7. Now you're about to give up that 15. Kaimi, guys, I've been scoring points for you guys, and now I got to give up my jersey again.
Kaimi is the MVP. Bro. Next Texas jersey I'm going to get is going to be Kaimi Ferber.
Right.
But yeah,
because at this point, even if he doesn't come back, he's still a cult hero in my eyes. No. So,
to be fair, no, I think Kaimi's in there for a long run, guys. I can't see him.
He's going to be.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope so.
But for Mendoza to win against in Miami, in their home,
that's the thing. In Miami, he did that.
Yeah, in Miami, which is he's from there, so it's technically his home. But still, it's just the fact that he went into that crowd and beat Miami. And if it wasn't for him, that game looks completely different because that Miami defense was on him all night.
At the end of the day,
he had that historic run.
Yeah, he was the difference maker.
Yeah, he man, it was just crazy. I could not see. I had to replay that play, by Mendoza. He led to cut 3. Mendoza led 12. It was 12 plays, 75-yard drive, 4th and 4. Indiana just kind of rolled the dice with it. Mendoza, he took a quarterback draw, spun through 4 tackles.
Dude, he
ate
ate
in
some
the end zone
hits
for a 12-yard score.
Yeah.
Goodness. And he took a hit.
And then like the special awareness to know like where the line was. He's like, I'm getting that ball over the line, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not taking all these hits for nothing.
He took a shot and he still held onto the ball and scored. And at that point, you're like, yeah, there's no way Indiana loses this game.
Yeah. That's how you know. He's got the dog in him, dude.
Yeah. And then we got players like Bo Nix getting, breaking their angles in victory formation.
Yeah. All right, fellas. That's gonna be it for our episode this week. I think next time we see you, we're gonna be talking about.
Before we finish it, though, any early predictions on the next round of the playoffs? Who goes to the Super Bowl? Just top of your head.
AFC Patriots, NFC Seahawks. I think it's a repeat of is it 2014?
Yep.
Yeah.
2014 Seattle Patriots.
Seattle Patriots. I'm rooting for anybody who plays the Patriots moving forward. So I really hope Seattle just cooks them. Just like
their defense is legit.
Yeah, and I feel like Seattle and LA is going to be a great game. Chicago and LA was a great game too. Yeah. I feel bad for.
I mean, that's so like Caleb at the end, dude. That was just.
I kind of felt bad for Caleb because he's been balling out all year.
Yeah.
But
anyway. All right, guys. Sorry. So we'll keep we'll do shows throughout the week. Last season we kind of did an off season, but this season we'll keep up. Obviously with the draft, we're going to be looking at possible picks from different teams based on the trajectories as they move forward. What as time goes on during the off season, it gets very interesting because teams start making different trades. We're going to do hypotheticals. We're going to do mock drafts along and see exactly what happens and how close we were.
I already know what my mock draft is going to look like.
Quarterback.
All right, guys.
One of them got to be good.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Tell them bring on the blitz. 20 of my dogs on this.